Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to where you're at in the Flight Sim world. It's Viper Strike 95, and today we're here on a Friday afternoon stream. And I'm happy to say that we're ready to kick off the weekend here today. And what better way to kick off this weekend is to head towards the Caribbean. And we're going to be doing some island hopping today all throughout the Caribbean. Great to see you guys as well. So today we are at Tango, India, Sierra Tango, located here in the island of St. Thomas, located in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And we're going to be doing plenty of island hopping today. I want to say hello to everyone in the chat. Good to see you guys as well. So our flight plan for today's trip. Let's pull up our little nav map. And right here from our nav map here, so here is what our flight's going to be all about today. So let's get started with our flight planning. We're going to be at 4,500 feet, but we're going to be taking off here from Cyril E. King Airport. Cyril F. King Airport. Once we take off here, we're going to be visiting through the capital of the U.S. Virgin Islands here at Charlotte Emile. We might get to visit Bluebeard's Castle and take some pictures of the beautiful harbor, along with Paradise Point. Then we'll be visiting through the rest of the island as well. Then from there, we'll be traveling through to the Virgin Islands National Park at Cruz Bay. Then we'll cross over into the British Virgin Islands. We'll be visiting Portola and the rest through our visit to the British Virgin Islands. Then we'll be crossing over a bit of the sea and make our first landing here at Wallblake Airport for our first landing, first full stop landing. Then from here, we'll be going through the island of St. Martin, a place I've been to in real life. But we'll explore a little bit about the island, fly over Grand Case. We're going to do some bit of landing over there, and then we'll be doing one of our mini sea landings. We're going to be doing 3 straight touch and go landings. Princess Juliana, St. Bartholomew Airport, and the infamous Saba Airport at Saba Island. Tango November Charlie Sierra. And then finally, we'll be flying through Oranjestad and into the island of St. Kitts and Nevis. We'll be flying over St. Kitts and then make our final stop here. And our final full stop landing for the day is Van Wingfoot Armory, Tango Kilo Papa November at Nevis, at the island of Nevis. So that is going to be our trip for today. So that is going to be our flight as well. So now for the plane we're going to take. I haven't taken this plane yet on stream, but this will be my first stream with the plane as well. And the plane we're taking for today is a recently released plane from Orbex. This was released with the New Zealand World Update. And yes, this is the de Havilland DHC-4 Caribou. This was a plane that I was very excited to see come into the simulator. But the DHC-4 actually has a pretty cool history. It was developed in Canada compared to the Beaver and Otter. It was a very rugged STOL plane that was first flew back in 1958. It was used by the U.S. Army in 1959, but it became extremely popular for military operators due to its takeoff capabilities. It could take off within 1,200 feet, and it's lasted even all the way to the 2000s, with the last one being retired by the Australian Air Force in 2009. This place had a long history. A very long history as well, and it's a very capable plane. It can cruise up to 187 knots, though it can cruise at 150 with a range of over 1,000 nautical miles, and it can reach up to 24,000 feet. Due to this thing being powered by 2 Pratt & Whitney Twin Wasp piston engines producing 1,400 horsepower each. And this thing can carry a payload of nearly 9,000 pounds. So this is an absolute workhorse of a plane. So you can definitely look at the interior. Now let's get into the interior. So the interior would look like this. This is our interior of this Caribou. So you can definitely see all the little touches and all the different circuit breakers and stuff you can touch. But yeah, this is very much an analog driven plane. It's very much analog. You can definitely tell. So yeah, she's very much an analog plane. Lots of little switches and gates. Let's go ahead and try to get this thing on. So we're gonna put on the parking brake. Then we're gonna push this thing in. Okay, it's already set in. Turn on the magneto. On. Mixture's cut off. It's very similar to a Twin Otter. If you notice all the stuff on top, it's very similar to a Twin Otter, which is why I'm quite familiar with it. Centimeter, landing gears down. Hey, good to see you, Captain Butters. I'm actually on the Southeast Asia server. Good to see you, Captain Butters. I'm on Southeast Asia. So that's what I'm doing here today. Okay, it is on. Engine. Yeah, it's on. On. And we got the right and left engines on. Yeah, I need to turn back the engine. So yeah, and that's our route today. So we're gonna have 2 full stop landings, but we're also gonna make touch and go landings at Princess Juliana, St. Bart's, and Saba. I want to do full stop landings here as well. There we go. So we got, and then we're going to do the same for the left engine as well. It's orbits normal. And basically we've done the same here. We're just turning on the engines. This is my first time actually going to stream with this thing. I did a flight with this earlier. It's definitely a very nice plane. And we're going to turn off. Okay, so now that all's set, we just set the flaps up, and that is going to be. That's how we're going to get this thing started. Radios have been set. Now we just gotta unlock the gust lock is. Flight controls are free and collect. Yep, check, and altimeter is looking good. Well, that is how we do. That's weird. Yeah, I apologize for that sound. That's the squeakiness of the brakes. So now to get this thing taken off. Now, a lot of people know this thing being an absolute stall machine. Our cruise altitude for today for this, at least for our first leg, is going to be around 2,000 feet is going to be where we're. So let's see how we can definitely take this thing off. We're going to go ahead. Flat. We're going to go ahead. Power. There you are, Captain Butters. Okay, 35. $50, $60, $70 knots. And look at that. She's already off. That's very impressive takeoff performance. The only thing this thing doesn't have is really an autopilot, but I mean this thing's an old plane from the 50s, so I don't think it needs a modern autopilot. So I'm going to go ahead and get. Yeah, we're finally up in the air. Around altitude. So welcome to St. Thomas. I've been to this island in real life. It's a lot of people's, one of their favorite islands to go on a lot of the cruises. So I've been to this island in real life, here in St. Thomas. So this place is where I've been through during my time at being in the cruise. So right here is Charles-Emile. This is the capital of the U.S. Virgin Islands here in St. Thomas. This is Charles-Emile. You can see Bluebeard's Castle up here as well. It's one of the main landmarks. Now, the U.S. Virgin Islands are made of three main islands: St. Croix, St. Thomas. The biggest and most populous island is St. Thomas here in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So right here is where all the cruise ships are. This is the cruise ship terminal located around here. There's all sorts of cruise ships. This is a very, very popular tourist destination for a lot of the cruise ship. The cruise liners, they all make an appearance here. Oh. But yeah, I really do like this Caribou. I think this is much better than their original local legend, which was the Fokker. This was definitely a much better local legend. I think it's one of their better local legends they have made. So right here, there is St. Thomas. There's Charlemille. Just overlooking the coastline. But St. Thomas as an island is absolutely famous for their beaches. Magens Bay as well is another popular area. It's a very popular tourist destination, and it's even been used as a film scenes for the Twilight movie series. The Magens Bay is an absolutely beautiful area. Though I didn't never visit it. My parents visited St. Thomas before. Pretty cool. And right in front of us is indeed Magens Bay Beach. There and right here is Magens Bay, where you can find some absolutely beautiful sea wildlife and all that sort of stuff can be found here at the beach. You have some absolutely stunning beachside scenery. That is the island of St. Thomas. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to get much better than being here at the beach. Go ahead and just turn around. But I mean, you have some absolutely stunning view. So yeah, I'm deciding to start streaming on Fridays. I've been thinking about doing a 3D streaming schedule. I was thinking about wanting to do it because I wanted to do more streaming as well. Though this may not work, I will stick to the 2-day schedule I used to have. I just want to try a Friday stream since Murph isn't here. So I wanted to do some afternoon streaming while he's been gone as well. So the next place we're visiting is another of the Virgin Islands. Here, another one of the members of the U.S. Virgin Islands. After crossing over into St. Thomas, we'll be visiting one of the other islands here in here. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But once we cross over from St. Thomas, we'll be heading to our next member of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Is the island of St. John. This is St. John ahead of us. This island here is this is probably the least known of the 3 major Virgin Islands between St. Thomas and St. Croix. This is the 3rd and probably least known island. So this area here is beautiful as well. Again, a lot of the places in the U.S. Virgin Islands are known for their beaches. So it's no surprise so many tourists visit these beaches every year. But yeah, St. Thomas was stunning. So what I did, Captain Butters, in St. Thomas, my parents actually took me to a place called Paradise Point, which is right up here. And we got to overlook a lot of the scenery here. Got to overlook it all. We got to overlook the entirety of the port and all that, and it was stunning. My parents loved the view up there. I mean, you got to see all the villas, you got to see the Capitol. You got to see a lot of stuff up there in St. Thomas. It was just beautiful. And by the way, if you want to see these pictures, I have a Discord, by the way. So if you're interested, if any of you guys are interested in joining along, I do have a Discord server. So this here, and you guys can look at all my vacation pictures. So this here, it is St. John, on the island of St. John. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful here today. St. John's actually is actually discovered back by Europeans back in 1493 when Christopher Columbus sailed past it during his voyage. But you can find a lot of artifacts from around 700 to the late 1400s, the Taino. And believe it or not, well, the U.S. Virgin Islands used to be part of Denmark, believe it or not, by the Danes, and the Danes held on to the U.S. Virgin Islands until the U.S. actually purchased it back in the U.S. Virgin Islands purchased it in 1917. It used to be part of it used to be a Danish colony. Yes, the Danes of all people. And then once we go over here, we're going to get our way into the British Virgin Islands. This is or officially known as the Virgin Islands, is actually the British Virgin Islands. And they're most well known for their capital and largest city of Roetown. It's also known, it's on the island of Tortola, which is a place that my parents also want to visit too. Hey, good evening, good afternoon, Kingsman. Great to see you, Kingsman. So yeah, I'm streaming today on Fridays. Just want to do some weekend flying over the Caribbean islands. So we'll be doing plenty of stuff over the Caribbean today, Kingsman, in the de Havilland DHC-4 Caribou today. We'll get some really awesome flying in the Caribou. So I hope you're doing well, Kingsman. It's a great way to kick off the weekend. So I felt like this stream would be a great way to kick off the weekend, cruising through the Caribbean islands. So we'll be landing in multiple airports. We'll be flying over including islands of Anguilla, St. Martin, St. Bart's, Saba, and then get to St. Kitts and Nevis. We'll be getting over to fly in those places as well. Oh, it's all well across the pond. My end of the pond are going pretty well. It's a little cold outside, but everything else is going pretty well. Outside in the pond, in the other side of the pond, everything's going pretty good. So to our right here, if you look to our right, to our left actually, there is Rowtown. This is the largest town city located in the British Virgin Islands. So, yeah, the Caribbean is very good looking, Kingsman. Like a lot of the Caribbean stuff, maybe sometimes, yeah, the photogrammetry data isn't as great, but in real life, the Caribbean is absolutely stunning. St. Thomas, by the way, was absolutely beautiful. And I have a lot of the pictures from my vacation there at St. Thomas, but it's a stunning island. There's a reason why so many tourists flocked to the island. It so right here is one of the airports here. This is Tango Uniform Papa Juliet. This is Terence B. Lettsome Airport, the main airport serving the British Virgin Islands. So there is an airport. So if you guys want to join in, if you feel interested in joining in on the stream, this would be a good place to get started. But this is the kind of airport that you definitely want to take the Caribou for. So there is Lettsome Airport. And currently, this airport was open all the way back way back in the days, but it went through renovations in 2004. But they serve all sorts of planes here. They mainly do G8. They mainly do turboprop planes, but apparently, in 2019, Titan Airways actually landed an Airbus A318 at the airport. Yes, the baby Airbus. The baby of the A320 family actually managed to land at the airport. I kid you not. So, but they do flights all over the Caribbean. A lot of the turboprop planes, they fly to places like Cuba, Barbados, Bonaire, Port-de-France, Grand Turk, St. Martin, and all that. They do tons of flying. They even do flights in Miami. In fact, American Airlines is even going to do flights starting in 2023 to this island. Yes, American Airlines is going to do it. So, yeah, that is pretty cool to think about that jets can actually land here. And apparently in 2023, they're going to actually now do jet lanes at the airport in the Embraer 175. Yeah, the English took over the place in 1672. That's correct. And a lot of people wouldn't know this, but the British Virgin Islands and the American Virgin Islands were once Danish, believe it or not. The Danes used to actually own much of what is now the Virgin Islands. Which is definitely something a lot of people don't realize, is that the Danes actually had colonies all throughout much of the world where it used to be Danish. As part of Denmark, Norway, they actually owned colonial possessions, which is something a lot of people don't think about when they think of colonial nations in the Americas. They usually think of Spain, Portugal, France, and England. A lot of people didn't realize the Danes actually had colonial possessions in the Americas. I know a lot of people know Denmark with Greenland. But yeah, the Danish West Indies was actually something a lot of people did not know about of Denmark. So that definitely surprised quite a few people. even I'm a little surprised. But it's still a very interesting fact. A lot of people don't really realize. And the Danes held on these to some of these islands all the way to 1917. Pretty crazy to think about the Danes. But here's the funny thing about the Danes as well. The Danes also had a town. They actually also used to own a town in India, the Rana Gambadi, all the way in India. But it was actually controlled by the Danes quite a bit. But definitely something a lot of people didn't realize about the Danes. And they actually own they own like some parts of colonies in the Indian continent. It's actually pretty crazy to think about. I think that Denmark used to actually have an overseas empire. So yeah, like I said, history got a lot of these at least. That's for sure. So yeah, I hope everyone's gonna have. I hope you guys have planned a really cool weekend. I hope you guys have any really cool weekend plans coming up. For me at least, I'm planning on doing the Brooklyn DC3 round world trip on Saturday. It's gonna be from Phuket. It's actually gonna be from Chiang Mai to Phuket at night, so expect that sort of stream. On Sunday, and then on Wednesday we'll be back with another airliner flight. So I'm planning, if the Friday stuff works, Friday maybe the GA streams is going to be on the Fridays, and the Wednesdays are going to be the airline sort of stuff. Or maybe Wednesday becomes GA and Friday becomes airline sort of stuff. But I want to actually get Friday on the schedule, so that way I can spread out the different streams a bit. So that's kind of how I wanted to actually plan this all out. But yeah, it's been great here over the past couple days, and there has been some pretty big news. Obviously the custom patch for Microsoft, the Wasm beta, is already out, so that's a very big deal. And if it works out, I mean, that's a game changer, because that means all sorts of add-ons are going to be on Xbox. And that's going to be a huge game changer. Which I think is extremely exciting news. But here's something that I think may be just as impactful as WASM support. On MSFF add-ons, Microsoft is also announcing changes to the marketplace based on feedback from developers. So instead, the developers will own testing and sign up on functionality for release, which will allow developers to get into the marketplace a lot faster. And that, to me, is a hugely positive change. That's a very positive change as well. Because the issue previously was because Microsoft was the one doing the product updates, it took them forever to get their products in the marketplace. So this is a huge improvement. And it's not just changes to the marketplace for developers to put product release. It might even be updates potentially, which I think is another positive change as well. And I mean, that is a huge change as well. I think it's a very positive change. Those two changes mentioned were very, very good changes. And then, of course, also yesterday came out the Black Squares Bonanza. The Black Square Analog Bonanza came out yesterday. If you guys have actually owned that add-on, let me know what you think. I'm personally not getting that add-on because, like I said, I'm happy with the current Bonanza, but if you guys have it and enjoy it, I think that's fantastic. I'm just hoping it's good. That's all that matters. Personally. And finally, Gotham is released Hostomel Airport for MSFS. This was actually the Antonov Airport where the AN-225 is actually housed in, but that was destroyed during the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and that included the AN-225, along with other historic Antonov planes, which pays tribute to a lot of the releases. And it looks really good, and it's on and you can get this on Orbex for $10, which actually looks pretty cool. And apparently, 10% of all sales contribute for this airport will contribute to rebuilding the Antonov AN-225, which I think is really cool. But yeah, I think there's some really good news, and I'm very, very happy. Thanks. Yeah, so far I'm really do enjoying this Caribou. This Caribou is awesome. I think this is one of their better local legends that they have done for Microsoft's release. I think this is a fantastic local legend. And I mean, it's a great plane for the bush trips. There's so many really cool places this plane can fly. Though I do agree, a lot of people have issues with the noise. It's a bit quiet, but it's not, for me, it's not that big. Hmm. Hmm. So yeah, that's going to be what I'm doing here today. So the next island we're visiting to is the island of Anguilla. Now, the Anguilla, for about Anguilla, it is one of the overseas territories of the United Kingdom here in the Caribbean, one of the north of the Leeward Islands. It's the most northerly of all the islands in the Leewards, east of Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, and north of St. Martin. And I actually got to see Anguilla from St. Martin, actually. I got to see the island itself. Because, like I said, St. Martin is quite surprisingly hilly as well. But the first Europeans that came here actually was a bit older. Some people say that actually the first European explorer to visit the island was actually French Huguenot René Goulon de Laudonnière in 1564. Well, Anguilla was first colonized by the English from St. Kitts in 1650 and mainly produced a lot of tobacco and, to a lesser extent, cotton. Then the French took it over temporarily and it was brought back to the English. And basically, Anguilla was where quite a few of the African slaves have actually worked for tobacco and stuff during the 17th and early 17th and 18th centuries. Worked through this time. It still remains a part of the UK still today. So, for culturally, this island, there are artifacts from the native Taino, Arawak, and Carib peoples can be found all throughout the island. And holidays are extremely important here on the island, mainly the anniversary of emancipation as a summer festival, but you can also find British festivities like the King's birthday celebrated here. And of course, its cuisine is very similar to other cuisines in the Caribbean, with all sorts of seafood like shrimp, crab, prawns, conch, mahi mahi, and grouper. Agriculturally, Anguilla produces tomatoes, peppers, limes, and other citrus. And of course, for sports, Anguilla is known for boat racing. You can find a lot of sailing regattas on national holidays. But also, like other former British colonies, cricket's also been very popular. And of course, your Brits may know this if you're a British sports fan. Anguilla is the birthplace of Zarnell Hughes, who represented Great Britain during the 100-meter race in 200 meters, and he represents Great Britain for the Olympics, including winning the 100 meters at the 2018 European Athletics Championships. So definitely some pretty interesting people about the island of Anguilla. This is also where we're going to have our first stop for the day. Coming through. So I appreciate you guys coming here today on this Friday stream, as well. Being here in the chat, we have Captain Butters ahead of us. I mean, this Caribou is so good. I mean, I definitely enjoy flying this plane a lot. It's definitely a ton of fun flying. Like, it's really smooth. It's easy to fly in the air with it. I really do enjoy this Caribou, and definitely worth the 15 bucks. Now, at some point, I'm gonna have to learn how to fly the Antonov AN-225 for stream, because I'm gonna have to find some way to take that Antonov AN-225 somewhere. Question is, where would I fly the AN-225? Is where am I? So currently I've been also thinking about working on I'm currently working on some research for my volunteering opportunity to just do some baseball research for one of the players from the Black Baseball Leagues. His name is Judd Wilson, so I'm also been working on that. So, in terms of sports stuff going on, the World Baseball Classic's already been on, is the World Baseball Classic. So basically, the World Baseball Classic is basically an international baseball tournament, similar to the FIFA World Cup, for all you fans of Association Football. But basically, it's a baseball tournament that was founded back in 2006. And they've hosted quite a few tournaments. This is the first such tournament since 2017. And this year, 2023's got quite a few teams. It's been hosted by Japan, Taiwan, and the U.S. this year. It's currently hosting it. But there have been 20 teams to qualify, including Canada. For the Americas, include Canada, Colombia, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Puerto Rico, the U.S., Venezuela, Panama, and Nicaragua. For the Americas, Asia is represented by the People's Republic of China. Then we have Chinese Taipei, including, which is some of this is also known as Taiwan. Japan and South Korea are qualified from Asia. And then from Europe, even though technically they're not from Europe, Israel is actually represented as Europe as they qualified. We have Italy as part of the baseball team. The Netherlands is actually part of it now. They appeared in every single World Baseball Classic. Has been the Netherlands. I kid you not. The Dutch. Then making their debut this year. 2 European teams are making their debut this year. Great Britain, the United Kingdom, the British. And finally, the Czech Republic is in their debut. It's the Czechs. And finally, the last one is Australia. Made its debut of the Aussies. So basically, the pool draw, so the U.S. is playing in the same pool as well. So, Pool A has already been found out. So during March 10th or 12th, so far, the Netherlands and Taipei have actually went through pools. So they actually went through pools undefeated. So they advanced to move on. Which means, unfortunately, Italy and Cuba are out of Pool A. Yeah. Especially considering Cuba has historically been a baseball powerhouse for the last couple of years. Pool B will see Japan, and then Australia makes it to the next round. Unfortunately for the Czechs, they do not make it to the quarterfinals. Unfortunately for the Czechs, I mean, this was their first ever appearance. And then Pool C, actually, not so yet. Pool A. But so far, the top 2 is Netherlands and Chinese Taipei. But so far, the leaders are Netherlands and Chinese Taipei or Taiwan. Pool B's current leaders are Japan and Australia, though the Czechs and South Koreans can still try and make a comeback. And then tomorrow would be starting Pool C, which is the U.S., Mexico, Colombia, Canada, and Great Britain. And then also starting tomorrow is Pool D with Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Israel, and Nicaragua. So definitely some pretty exciting baseball coming up as well internationally, which I think is great that the sport's finally gotten some more international recognition. As if you know me, I've done a whole series on baseball. That was my first series I've ever done. I might go back to it at some point. I might be able to go back to it at some point. So we're about 49. We're about 40 nautical miles out from our first stop here at Wolf Lake, which is Tango Quebec Papa Foxtrot is our first stop of the day. So some more information about the island coming up too. This is the airport. This airport right here is the main airport for the island of Anguilla, located near the valley, which is the capital of Anguilla. And believe it or not, it's actually a feature airport back in Flight Sim X. In the demos of Flight Simulator X, it was one of its featured airports, believe it or not. It has one runway, 1028, that's around 5,463 feet long, or 1,665 meters. It is known as officially as Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport, named after the first Anguillan aviator, Clayton J. Lloyd, who founded Air Anguilla, which is named Valley Air Service. So, and apparently, it's now going to be served by American Eagle as well out of Miami. So now they're going to do, American Airlines is now going to do some flights here as well in the Embraer jets, which I think is pretty cool. However, what's pretty cool is, in recent history, back in the past, a Boeing 737-300 even landed at this airport, along with an MD-83 Mad Dog. And just earlier this year, on January 4th, 2023, Avionica El Salvador landed an Airbus A320neo down at the island, which I think is pretty cool that an A320 can land here as well. So yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. No full stop landing TFFJ. Oh, I am gonna land at TFFJ, Captain Butters. It's not going to be a full stop break, but I'm definitely going to do lands here. Yes, I'm actually going to do a full stop landing and take it off. Yes, I'm going to be landing there too, as well. Captain Butters, I'm going to definitely land there. I'm just not having a full stop here. I'm just going to do a simple landing and then circle back and take back off again. But no, I'm definitely going to make a landing there, for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely do lands. I'm gonna do a land in Grand Case as well as think hits. So gonna do plenty of landings. We've got plenty of stuff to do for today's flight. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here as well. I have my Discord, so I have some pictures of St. Martin that's gonna come up pretty soon. I just wanted a quick stop here for. Just want to do a quick landing here at Wallblade before we get to the rest. But we're going to be doing touch and goes throughout much of the islands as well. And basically, this is going to be a continuation. Possibly for the next couple weeks is do more common hopping, which would be featuring Antigua, Barbuda, Antigua, Montserrat, Guadalupe, Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent the Grenadines, Barbados, Grenada. So we'll be doing more island hopping stuff in the Caribbean. So we're going to be doing some pretty fun island stuff. And that one for next time hopefully would be in the Twin Otter this time. Fine. And I mean, if you want to do Caribbean island hopping, you definitely want to do it in. You definitely want to do it in the Twin Otter. It feels so right to take it. So yeah, that's going to be quite a bit of things going on. Nothing better than a good, relaxing Friday. Being with the community is always been great. Let's see some. So for Firefly Air, for Firefly Air, there was actually a whole new sort of stuff they've been working on for Firefly Air. If you've never been with the virtual airline, I do highly recommend you guys join our virtual airline, Firefly Air. Here it is, Firefly Air. If you actually click the link, the hyperlink, it'll take us to our virtual airline, which I am a proud member of. It'll take us to our airline. We actually have now a whole new wiki done by the incredible work of Six Knots, who is a legend in my book, a fellow admin. The absolute incredible Six Knots. He worked on this whole thing by himself. I mean, him and Gibbo worked together on this, and it looks awesome. It looks amazing. It's got so much detail. It's got different steps, and it has nearly everything you can want. You could do setting up. You could learn how to set things up. Do some things to do with your flights and all that. Flight planning. Even guides like operations, like hubs, route pages, duty schedules, achievements. And yes, he even has his own stat console stuff, but that wiki is so good. It's so clean, too. Such a clean-looking wiki as well, which is perfect. And like I said, I'm also a member of the admin as well. I've mainly just been doing a lot of research sort of stuff for obvious reasons. I've been doing lots and lots of research for the virtual airline. I mainly help with all the hubs, information like charts, research information for the hub information, and maybe even come up with some bits of routes for the playing team with Six Knots and Iron. I've been doing quite a bit of work. So yeah, if you look at our islands ahead of us, so here's Angula. Angula's straight ahead. This hilly island here, this is St. Martin, which is quite hilly. And then over here to our far right, that is Saba, way in the distance. That is Saba, right on top of a hill. And then there is St. Kitts and Nevis. There's Nevis and St. Kitts. So that's where they're at. For island geography. So yeah, I have my vacation pics here too. If you want me, I'll show you guys again my vacation pics that I had back in Okay, let me go ahead and show you guys my Discord pics. So this is my Discord. So let me show you the pictures I actually took on my vacation. So this was back in Fort Lauderdale. So this was Port Everglades. This is the main port of Fort Lauderdale. So we were on the ship Regal Princess. That was our cruise line for our trip. So I got a couple of really cool pictures of the port. There's downtown Fort Lauderdale, which has really grown a lot since the 1910s. There's our ship, the interior atrium, more stuff. Then this here was our first day we got to visit, which was Princess Cays. And this is where we visited the Bahamas, actually. This was my first time I ever stepped foot in the Bahamas, actually. Which is definitely beautiful. The beaches are awesome here. The water's so vibrant in the Bahamas. Like, I mean, the Bahamas is just one of the more stunning places to visit in the Caribbean. Obviously, it's flat, but I mean, you have so many good beaches everywhere. And yes, you're looking at right. That is me kissing a stingray. I kid you not. Yes, that is Viper Strike kissing a stingray. Apparently, the excursion guide told me that will give me 7 years of good luck. I wonder if I'm ever going. I wonder if that's ever going to be true. Would it really give me 7 years of good luck? Hopefully. And he actually let me hold the stingray for quite a bit with my snorkeling equipment with my mom and dad. Amazing parents. I get to actually hold stingray for a couple minutes. Yes, me and a southern stingray get to hold that big boy. Trust me, they're pretty big. Southern stingrays are big, and definitely touching them is kind of unusual because in this underside is actually kind of soft, but once you go overhead, it's actually kind of rough, especially with all that. And this is the tail end. Thankfully, the barbs have been removed off the stingray. Thankfully, for these stingrays here, the barbs have been removed because usually these stingrays do come with a barb. Hey, good to see you, Flox. Give a shout out to my good friend Floxtrot. He actually made it here in the chat today. So check out Floxtrot's channel, an awesome friend of the community. He's been here since almost when I first streamed. An amazing friend. Good to see you, Flox. And this here is a conch. Yes, an actual conch. They're actually living sea snails, and their flesh has been, this mollusk has been very prized for its flesh. And you can find conchs all over. A lot of the Caribbean dishes feature conch. So this here is Anguilla. We're gonna do an exclamation point predict. Type in a negative number because we're about to land here in Anguilla, British Overseas Territory of the Caribbean. So we got rear view. So this here is the island of Anguilla. Its capital, largest city, it is known as the Valley. Changing the helicopter next for the short hops. Yeah, the rest of it's going to be short hops, which is going to be at the chopper. But I mean, technically, being on the helicopter is kind of cheating if you consider that. But I do appreciate Captain Butters, you're flying with me today. I really appreciate it. Like I said, it's always great having you around. But yeah, this is beautiful here in Ingula. Right in front of us, it is the valley. But yeah, this is absolutely beautiful here in Anguilla. We're going to go ahead and ready to get approach, lower the engine. We're going to go ahead and get the flaps and gear to post. Yeah, this thing should get stopped really quickly. Um, just like many de Havilland planes, this is a stall machine. This thing will not need much of a runway at all. Like I said, there's a reason why this plane was so popular for the militaries it served. We're gonna go all the way. We do. Oh, and reverse first. Whew. Would you look at that? Whew, that was a good land. Sorry for that being a little loud into your ears, guys, but you know. So yeah, that is our first full stop landing for today. Um, and we get up. So guys, we made it here in Anguilla right now. So this here is Anguilla, right off the island of the Caribbean. A beautiful destination for vacationers all across the world. So we'll be right back soon. I'm gonna grab something small to eat and go take a bathroom break. So I'll be going ahead right back, and we'll do leg number 2. So see you in a little bit. All right, I'm back. So we're now back. So now, if you got here just in time for the first time chat, or you just got here, so let's go. We're back here at Anguilla Airport, Tango, Quebec, Papa Foxtrot. We're right outside the capital of Anguilla in the valley. So we're gonna do now leg 2, but we'll be doing multiple touch and goes in visiting each of the airports and stuff. Starting here in the Isle of St. Martin, we'll be visiting both the French and Dutch side. So we'll make a touch and go here at Grand Case, and then a touch and go landing, and then making the landing here at Princess Juliana Airport here in just outside of Phillipsburg in Simpson Bay. Then once there, we'll be making a good landing here at St. Bart's, a world famous area, and it's one of the most difficult approaches in the world. And then finally, the most difficult probably of all is Saba, 977 feet of runway here in the island of Saba. Then we'll fly over St. Kitts and then make our final stop here at Nevis, Tango Kilo Papa November. So that will be wrapping up leg number 2 of the stream. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing back up in the air. Putting this old bird back in the air. So let's get this girl back in the sky. Shall we? So we're going to be heading first to St. Martin. St. Martin is very interesting as the first Europeans discovered was Christopher Columbus. However, the island has a really interesting history. So the Dutch actually founded the southern side they founded New Amsterdam. Fort Amsterdam was founded on the island in 1631. While the French took it back in 1644. So apparently, the island was actually divided back into during the Treaty of Concordia in 1648, which divided the island into 2. So that's pretty cool to think about. In addition to this as well, during the 18th and 19th centuries, cotton, sugar, and tobacco plantations grew popular, so they did a lot of African slaves, and grew even larger than the landowners. And after the abolishment of slavery, plantation culture suffered, but it grew a lot because of tourism. And you can find Princess Juliana Airport around here too. And St. Martin became very good for it. And then during the 21st century, St. Martin was almost completely devastated by Hurricane Irma. Irma nearly completely destroyed the entire island. It completely wrecked the entire ports, multiple ports on the island. Both the French and the Dutch side were completely devastated by. But yeah, St. Martin is absolutely one of the... Did TFFJ and TNCS last night in Technam, not a stolen aircraft, just made the landings. Yeah, they're not STOL planes, but they can definitely make the landings. They're small GA planes. They can definitely make the landings. We're going to go ahead and turn around. Let me go over my Discord for a bit. So let's go back to my general chat. So I had pictures of St. Thomas. So I had multiple pictures of the island St. Thomas. This is where I went to originally. I probably should have shown this off before the stream started, but this was St. Thomas, what it looked like in real life. But yeah, you can definitely see all the hills and everything from around the island. You can see tons of hills. You can see tons of hills, tons of all that from Paradise Point. You have some amazing views. Views from up there are, are incredible. And I got tons of pictures from that. But this is from my pictures of my time in St. Martin, actually. So yeah, this is the Dutch side. So our port, our cruise port, was actually in the Dutch side. It was actually the Dutch side. So that's why you have two A's for because it's Dutch. And then from the Dutch side is going to be this here is Orient Bay. So Orient Bay is going to be one of our first waypoints to the island. Is actually Orient Bay. And Orient Bay is another very popular tourist destination. Lots of beaches as well. But this is on the front. Orient Bay is on the French side of the island. And then the next picture here is Granite Case Airport. So this is Granite Case Airport here in real life. This is Granite Case, which is definitely neat. This is used for primarily general aviation stuff. Definitely operates from this airport. This is your GA. And there is Fort St. Louis and Fort St. Louis is actually this is the fort that overlooks Marigot. This is the capital of the French side of St. Martin of the island. That's the old fort that was built up there. And Marigot is, and there's the mural of the capital of that side of the island. And then this picture here, Princess Juliana Airport in real life. There's Princess Juliana. Looking pretty cool. Then, yes, there is my pics of Maho Beach I have. There is PC-12 landing here. This is at Sunset Beach Bar. Pretty cool place as well. And there's the world famous Maho Beach. My mom and dad were surprised that how busy this beach gets. Especially during times where the planes land and all that. Very, very busy. And there is a Win Air Twin Otter landing here. So yeah, actual lanes at the airport on the beach. Definitely a very cool airport. You are right here. This is Orient Bay Beach, located here in St. Martin. This is Orient Bay Beach. Apparently, here's a funny thing. We didn't think we know this, but the interesting thing about this beach, is apparently this is actually the site of a nude beach, which is rare in the U.S., but again, not safe for work, obviously, but yeah. But as you can definitely tell from the side, St. Martin can get really, really hilly. Like, I'm surprised that this place is as hilly as it is. So we're gonna make a quick touch and go here at here's Granite Case. Not too bad of a landing here in the GA point. So here is Granite Case. I flew on Win Air Otter for Saba, fun but scary when I was in aviation 10 years ago. Yeah, the Twin Otter is that's why that's probably one point that you see operate there falling up. But good to see you, my friend. as well. Well, so this here is Grand Case Airport. It's one of the two airports here on the island. This is the one most known for being on the French side of the island. And, okay. So yeah, this is Grand Case. This is the smaller of the two. We're going to turn left from Grand Case, and we're going to be heading to the French capital, Marigot. So here it is. Here is Marigot. This is Marigot, the capital of the French side of Saint Martin. Here's the capital port. So this is Marigot. All this is Marigot. That is the capital of the French side of Saint Martin. Yeah, you definitely see lots of yachts here. Lots of yachts make their home here in Princess Juliana in this island. And then we're going to head over from here and we're going to make a landing at Princess Juliana, which, by the way, you guys know what Princess Juliana is famous for in the Caribbean. So, I'm in, like I said, in Maho Beach. Princess Juliana is the main international airport of the island, and it's the Caribbean's second busiest airport after Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. But it's the main hub for Winair. It has a 7,500-foot runway, and they operate all sorts of planes fly here, from GA and stuff to the airliners. Even planes as big as the 747 fly to this airport. And they do live international stuff, not just in the Caribbean, but also in the US, Canada, and even the Netherlands and France. So this place has quite a few international destinations as well. It is extremely famous. And of course, the number one tourist attraction when you visit St. Martin is to go to the Maho Beach and watch as planes try to land at the airport over your head while you're sitting out getting the beach treatment. So yeah, this is Princess Juliana Airport. And yes, it is now a handcrafted airport thanks to the 40th anniversary edition. And the airport is officially known as Maho Beach, and it's a very popular for plane spotters. And it's a bucket list for many of those of those plane spotters. So it's very, very popular. And that's why you can get some amazing pictures. Oh. And okay. We made it back to St. Martin. And we're going to go ahead and, well, take back off, actually. Since, well, I've landed here in St. Martin quite a few times. So, we're going to go ahead and take back off. 50s. And we'll leave. So why is this airport tricky? Well, A, you have 7,500 foot runway, and two, if you mess up the runway, well, here's the thing: you got a side of the mountain that you have to be careful of when you're trying to fly over. You have to make an approach outside of the mountain. So here is more St. Martin. Cold Bay. So to our right is the town known as Cold Bay. So this area is famous for a lot of yachting. There's tons of little yachts up there on the island. But there's lots of festivals hold here. And for St. Martin, other information, the water sports are extremely popular among tourists, but also baseball, volleyball, cricket, and more are famous here too. However, the thing that St. Martin is most famous for is definitely cricket. So to our left here, if you look forward ahead to our left, that is the capital of the Dutch side of the island. That is Philipsburg. That is the capital of the Dutch side. And you can look ahead, that is where our port was stationed at. So right here. There's our port. Right? So next stop is a landing at St. Bart's. Is our next stop. So this here in front of us is St. Bartholomew's, St. Bart's. But St. Bart's is part of France, actually. It's a French overseas possession. And it's been a very, it became extremely popular for a lot of the French people make their home here. But St. Bart's has been a huge part of tourism, mainly with wealth generated by tourists, and that's why there's such a high living standard in the island. And you can find 25 hotels throughout the island. And it's been very popular with tourism. You can also find some landmarks, including Gustavia, the main town and capital of St. Bart's, as well as a few forts. And it is also a major haven for a lot of yachts, with many events held here as well. And then we're going to be heading towards the main airport of St. Bartholomew's, and that is Gustav III Airport, Tango Foxtrot Juliet. It is one of the most difficult and extreme airports in the world for quite a few reasons. The big one being its short runway of only 2,100 feet. It's very close to automobile traffic throughout the island. And in fact, you do need a license to land at the airport. Yes, you need a license to land it. And it's ranked as one of the most dangerous airports along with Tonkonton and Lukla, which, trust me, that is a pretty dangerous list. But it was named after Gustav III of Sweden because St. Bart's actually used to be a Swedish island in the Caribbean. Yes, it used to be Swedish, believe it or not. Yes, St. Bart's was once part of Sweden. From 1784 to 1878 was actually part of Sweden. I kid you not, Swedes. But mainly small regional and commercial aircraft here come to this airport, which means planes like the Twin Otter are a common sight, but the biggest aircraft ever allowed at this airport is actually the DHC-7, its four-engine brother. And this airstrip is, the reason it's so difficult is because it's the airstrip's on the base of a gentle slope, so the arrival descent is very, very steep. And the most common planes you see fly over this area include Pilatus PC-12s, Cessna Grand Caravans, DHC-6 Twin Otters, and BN-2 Islanders often were the ones flying over the airport. Let's hope the Caribou isn't too big to land at the airport, but then again, if it can handle the Twin Otter, it can probably handle this thing. So yeah, this is going to be interesting, guys. How is Viper going to manage to make the landing at St. Bart's? Go ahead, turn off the engine. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn on flaps. Get ready for the landing here. Question is this going to be too big? There it is. St. Bart's at airport. Oh, this is gonna be good. Here it goes. Here goes. Bart's. was a bit of a rough landing, but I mean, that is to be expected here in St. Bart's. Uh, hey, Fauna. Yeah. Whew. Oh man, that was not that was not an easy landing out. That is not a fun landing. St. Bart's, there's a reason why it's one of the world's most extreme airports. It is not an easy place to land. Like, Captain Motors, you have it easy with the chopper. Hmm. Oh, in the G21. Oh, falling up. Yeah. Okay, we're not gonna off. Okay, now we're gonna take off from runway 10 because that is definitely the easier of the two takeoffs. Is they usually take off from runway 10. Okay. Okay. In fact, beachgoers can see the planes take off here from the airport. '50, '70, and we're going. Water. Yeah, that is the island of St. Bart's. The beautiful island here in St. Bartholomew. But this actually means we only have one more island to go, and that is one more extreme landing left to go. And it is the island of Saba. This will be where our last extreme landing challenge is Caribou. And we are going to visit about Saba. This island is actually part of the Dutch. It is a special municipality here in the Netherlands. It is home to an active volcano, Mount Scenery, which is around 21,910 feet, which, believe it or not, here's the funny thing about this. You'll blow your mind. At 2,910 feet, Mount Scenery is the highest point in the entire Kingdom of Netherlands. This includes the European territory itself. So that is pretty funny, a lot of people don't realize. Which is very hilarious. I mean, poor Netherlands. Imagine an island out of the Caribbean is your highest point. But the island's really small though. 13 square kilometers large, and a population of 1,911 people. It is the smallest territory by permanent population here in the Americas. Because of its quietness, it's a very popular eco-tourist destination. And as a result, it's pretty much unspoiled compared to a lot of the Caribbean islands. Which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. But the airport we're visiting today is Tango November Charlie Sierra. This is also known as Hwansho-e Raskin Airport. It is built on Saba all the way back in the 19th. It was originally thought of since the 40s, but it's actually been built since It's been opened in 1963, and it's currently the shortest commercial runway in the world. Only 400 feet, not 1,312 feet, which is the smallest of any airport in the world. As a result, because of its really short size, jet planes can't land here, but STOL planes like the Twin Otter, Islander, and even choppers are often common sights in the island. And mainly Win Air flies here from St. Barts, St. Martin, and St. Eustatius. But it is a very small runway, and it's one of the most dangerous in the world because of just. It is a very, very small place. Hey, good to see you, Muse fan. Welcome. Not happening in the Goose. No, it's not really not happening in the Goose. It's been a grab of our highest mountain over there. Hey, good to see you, Muse fan, and Dougal McTavish. Good to see you both. So, Dougal and Muse, I'm doing a Friday sort of thing. I'm unofficially taking over for Murph tonight. So, I'll be taking the Caribou over. We just visited, we visited quite a few places today. I took off from St. Thomas, in the U.S. Virgin Islands. We went through both the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, visited Anguilla. Then we did touch and goes at Grand Case Airport and Prince Juliana in St. Martin. And we just took off from St. Barts, did a dangerous landing at St. Barts in the Caribou. If you guys never been to St. Barts, there are some absolutely crazy landings there in St. Barts. And then we're visiting Saba. We're going to do probably the most difficult of them all. Not because of any extreme hills or anything, but the reason is it's short. In the sim, it's only 977 feet, so I do not have a lot of room to work with. If I choose land here, I do not have a lot of room to work with. Though the good thing is, I do have reversers on this thing. And then afterwards, after landing there, we'll be heading through St. Kitts and Nevis. So, which is a place my parents have been wanting to go, hopefully one day, get to visit St. Kitts. But yeah, Saba was the best place to go for me because it was really quiet. Yeah, it's a very quiet island, Fauna. As a result, you don't have to really worry about the tourism traffic. That's definitely why a lot of people like visiting Saba. It's great to have all you guys here, and I appreciate you guys coming to my Friday stuff. I'm hoping if this works out, which I think hopefully this is, I'm going to be doing 3 days a week, guys. Obviously, it wouldn't be at 2 o'clock because Murph usually streams during this time, but maybe at around 1 or 2 o'clock would be a great time for the streams as well. Because I definitely want to do a Friday stream once in a while, because I wanted to expand my streaming opportunities, so I want to probably do 3 days a week. Yeah, but the Caribbean's a very beautiful place, and I really recommend you guys check out the Caribbean in real life. I'm hoping maybe someday we have a Firefly Air Hub somewhere in the Caribbean. Hopefully, Prince Juliana becomes a hub, because I think I may actually think about doing a flight plan that takes us through the entire Caribbean. Maybe a milk run sort of route. Do milk runs all over. That'd be fun as well. I need to expand my stream times also. I'm back in my head thinking about a VATSIM stream. Folks can collaborate with me to learn VATSIM. Oh yeah, and actually speaking of which, Two-Tone Murphy's doing an ATC series as well, Phlox. I don't know if you've ever been on VATSIM before, but yeah, I'm probably gonna do. I probably need to keep more track with the ATC series, but I mean, I just been having to do a lot of work for this sort of stuff as well. But yeah, I definitely want to learn VATSIM. That's what I want to do in the future. Learn the VATSIM stuff. And that's what I want to learn as well. So here it is, guys. Here is mighty Saba, one of the world's most difficult airports to land. It is not easy. It is short. I have dipped my toes in the VATSIM, need to plunge in. Yeah, I want to learn. I got my VATSIM account already, Phlox, but I do need to plunge in at some point, but I'm just waiting on some stuff, that's all. So, I've already done some pretty familiar stuff. Maybe I could do the 737 or something like that for VATSIM, but I guess start with the VFR. If I do VATSIM, I'll start with the VFR sort of stuff. Probably take a plane that I'm familiar with, like an S-Cub or a Cessna 172. Those are planes I'm very familiar with. As I've had a lot of experience in those planes. Yeah, same here, VFR. Here it is, guys. Here is Saba. Yes. It looks like what it is because, yes, we do not have much room. So we're going to go ahead and flaps. Sorry. And we're going to go full. We're going to need full flaps because we need to slow down as much as we can. Like, whoops. All. Show the runway. Turn the runway. Yeah, I did 9% bets, flying on bets, and I'm easy to get hooked. Now I'm training helis. Nice! You know, I'm not a heli pilot myself, but I'm glad you learned about the choppers. Like, they can be quite fun if you're good at them. I bet they are a ton of fun. $60. Okay. Good. And we are going to be down. Idle. Brakes. Oh, look at that. Wow, would you look at that. We stop at Saba. No thrust, no reversers needed. Like I said, that is not an easy landing at all. Especially you do not have much room to make up. If you mess up your landing, you probably need to get out. Yeah. Yeah, this bird does stop on a dime. No reversers needed. This thing stops really quickly. Yeah, this bird absolutely stops on a dime, Dougal. This thing stops. That's why I like this Caribou. This Caribou is so much fun. I love flying. It's a great $15 plane, absolutely. I'm gonna watch Fallen Up and see if he could try and pull off this landing here in this. Here's Fallen Up. Let's see if Fallen Up can do this better than. Nicely done. Whoa, okay, well that's good stop. Fallen Up, come on, come on. Okay, good. Yeah, that is how you stop at Saba, guys. That is how you stop one here at Saba. It just that's why the only planes you see are either these planes, these STOL planes, or you see choppers. One of those two. You don't see any other planes here because because the runway is too short. Like it is just too short. You don't see anything else. And finally, the last place we're going to be flying to is St. Kitts and Nevis. You know, it's actually a federation in St. Kitts. This island country consists of 2 islands, St. Kitts and Nevis. There's 50,000 people living on these 2 islands, with the capital city being Basseterre. Located in St. Kitts, it is the world's smallest sovereign federation in the world, and is the smallest sovereign state in the Western Hemisphere. The island used to be colonized by the Spaniards, but then it became part of Britain, and it declared independence back in 1983, on September 19th. But a big part of their economy and a big part of them is tourism. Tourism is massively important in St. Kitts and Nevis, which has increased so much since the 1970s. St. Kitts has been extremely popular among tourists. And power away, and we're gonna go. Hey, Flights with Joel, good to see ya. Guys, check out Flights with Joel. A great friend of mine in the community. He is an amazing flight sim streamer. We're about to take off from Saba and make our way over to St. Kitts. And the Caribou's already off. And just like that, we've already... Yeah, I do like Saba. It's a very tricky airport to land. But I do agree, it is insanely fun to take off and land. It is a fun but very tricky place to land. You do not have much room for error at this airport. So if you know how to fly here, congratulations, you know what you're doing. But great to see you, Joel. I hope you're coming here soon. I hope you're planning for your next flight on Sunday. For me, my Sunday plans is going to be do another DC3 trip on Sunday. Going to be probably another 4.5-hour stream in the Douglas DC3. It's been too long since I've flown that thing. So yeah, quite a bit of people here today. The turnout's been great here today. Thank you guys so much for coming here on this Friday stream. Yeah, I hope I can do more of these Friday streams with you guys, because I think it'd be awesome to do Friday afternoon streams, which I think would be fantastic as well. I want to do these Friday streams, maybe do these shorter Friday streams, just do some enjoying flying time with the group. Fallen Up, Captain Butters, and Tarnish are with us here today in the Caribbean. Thank you guys so much for coming here. So if you guys want to join my Discord, I have my own Discord page. Oh, you're gonna go back to some biplanes. Ooh, nice. Ooh, nice. There's some pretty good ones in the sim. And Rathole80 has now just followed. Thank you so much, Rathole, for joining the channel. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for coming along into my stream. I hope you're having a good day so far. We're flying our way over to our final landing spots in St. Kitts and Nevis. We're going to make our landing there. But St. Kitts and Nevis has been a big tourist part. So I know a lot of cruises like to make their way over to St. Kitts for a lot of excursions in St. Kitts and Nevis. There are tons of little excursions. You could do ATV tours of the island. You could do catamarans and all that sort of stuff. You can even take a train, believe it or not, through this island. You can take a train through downtown to the Wingfield Estate. But yeah, you can do quite a few things in St. Kitts and Nevis. So definitely some very cool areas to visit here on the islands. Very, very cool. I'm doing well, thanks. Just stop by and chill for a bit. Oh, I appreciate you coming, Rathole. But yeah, it's great to see you here. I'll be back streaming Sunday, guys. at 1500 Zulu, I'll be back streaming with the Breitling DC-3 around the world. We're gonna go from Phuket to from Chiang Mai to Phuket via Bangkok. So we'll be checking that out. So that's what we're gonna be doing. And I guess for now on, I guess if this does work out, Wednesday streams are probably going to be the airliner stuff on the Wednesday stuff. It's going to be probably airliners or GA if I want to pick between the two. Probably the airliners. For next week, I'm actually thinking about doing probably somewhere in the United States. I have the 737-900, so I've been thinking about doing a very busy flight on one of the world's busiest air routes, and that's going to be from. I'm gonna do some flying in South Korea, flying from Gimpo, all the way down probably to Jeju Island back, and fly from Seoul to Jeju and back, because that is one of the busiest air routes in the world. It's the world's busiest route, basically. So that's going to be my Wednesday stream. Take the 737-900 from Seoul to Jeju. So that would be a really cool, fun little route in the airliner. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. Well, I hope you guys have had pretty cool plans for the weekend. I hope you guys have a very fun time weekend. So this here, it is Oranjestad. Now this island here to our right, it is the island of Oranjestad. So this is Oranjestad Island, and to our right is an airport. This is FDR Airport, Tango November Charlie Echo. Also part of the Netherlands as well. And then this here in front of us is the big old island of St. Kitts. So here it is. This is the island of St. Kitts. So in front of us is one of the highest points. This is Mount Liamuga, is the highest point of the island. That would be the highest point. So that's going to be quite a bit going on. So this is St. Kitts in front of us. It's got lots of rainforests and all that sort of stuff as well. There's national parks and museum, including Brimstone Hill. Definitely a very pretty view here. Here it is. Beautiful. Beautiful St. Kitts. And there is the little island of Nevis in front of us, too. So yeah, before you go, we're about, according to my nav map, we are about less than 20 miles away. So we're going to do exclamation point predict for the final landing of the stream. Thank you guys so much for coming along onto today's flight. I do appreciate all the turnout here today. So many awesome people came here today. I really do appreciate it. Thank you all, both in the chat and the lurkers too. Appreciate you all being here. I can't wait for the weekend as well. I got some bit of work to do, but I'll get everything ready for Sunday's stream. I promise you that, guys. But yeah, I really do appreciate you guys being here as well. Like I said, you guys are the big legends here, is this community. I mean, I do lots of research behind the streams, but I mean, it wouldn't be the same without you. So right in front of us here is the capital, largest city of St. Kitts. This is Basseterre. Basseterre is the capital of St. Kitts and Nevis. 14,000 people live in this city. It is one of the oldest towns in the Eastern Caribbean, founded in 1627 by the French under Sieur Pierre Belin de Esnambuc. It served as the French colony of St. Christophe, which is located in the northern southern extremities of the island. Then it became part of Britain back It became part of the capital of the entire French West Indies during this time, which included Guadeloupe and Martinique. And then it was the capital of St. Kitts in 1727, until when the British took control of it. However, the tragic thing about this city is it was very tragic compared to a lot of other Caribbean capitals. It was destroyed many times by colonial wars, fires, earthquakes, riots, and even hurricanes. However, you can still find a considerable number of well-restored buildings in downtown. Most were built after the Great Fire of 1867. So you can find all sorts of stuff, but you can find some really cool restored buildings and monuments like the Circus, Independence Square, St. George's Anglican Church, and its National Museum. Here is Brasseterre. Look, there is the city of Brasseterre to our right, and it's home to its large airport. It's the island's busiest airport, Bradshaw International. Tango Kilo Papa Kilo is the main airport here that serves the city. Completed all the way back. It was actually named after the first premier of the island, Robert Bradshaw. In 2008, it handled 400,000 passengers. And it serves all sorts of routes and destinations, not only just the Caribbean, but also internationally, like Miami, Toronto, London. Even London serves as an airport. And of course, the largest plane to land here was a 747-400 that actually landed here. And in 2011, this island also made history as a chartered Sri Lankan Airlines A340 landed here from Colombo, Sri Lanka to St. Kitts. Nearly 10,000 nautical mile journey to even get to the airport. Like, that's pretty crazy to think about. 10,000 nautical miles from Sri Lanka. Oh yeah, the sim music in that below. Yeah, they are a bit low, Dougal. I do apologize. But man, look at the view. I mean, oh my goodness, guys. Look at the views. Oh, look at this. And you wonder why I like flying over the Caribbean. I think music's only there when talking. Oh dear. Okay, really? Ah. I'm gonna have to do more of the settings again. Sorry about that, Dougal. Oh no. Hey, Ailerons in the Wind. Good to see you, Ailerons in the Wind. Giddy giddy goo. Good to see you, Ailerons. Let me give Ailerons in the Wind a shout out. Again, another close friend to our the Two-Tone River community. He's currently been streaming for the last couple of days. He got a huge Fabio raid the other day for Ailerons in the Wind. But we're currently flying in the Caribbean. We're about to make our final approach into Vance Winkworth Airport here in Nevis. We currently took off from St. Thomas. We visited the British Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands. We made landings in Anguilla, St. Martin, St. Bart's, and Saba. And now we're going to make our final landing here in Nevis. But it's hey, no worries, Ailerons in the Wind. I'm more than happy to support your channel and to support you in your career with your streaming. So I'm more than happy to support fellow members of the Two-Tone River community. I'm very happy to help. Oh, you feeling better today? Oh, you're talking to Dougal. But yeah, it's beautiful out here today. We're gonna go ahead and prepare our landing. Airport. Yeah, the Caribbean is absolutely stunning, Herons. It's great. Like I said, I need to get Murph. Murph definitely needs to put a hub somewhere in the Caribbean, and that way we can do all of our Caribbean flying here. Oh, there's our airport. Go ahead and around, and we're gonna watch the state descent. But yeah, everything's going really well today. Um, yeah, I do like flying the Caribou. It is a ton of fun to fly. I definitely, like I said, I'm a huge stickler for planes that can do short takeoffs and landings. I'm a huge stickler for those, just because I can take this thing nearly anywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and end it. I'm gonna speak to Murph about a badge called the Ferry Pilot and see if I get that emoji adding. Lots to learn about streaming the flying I could do blindfold. Huh. That sounds pretty cool, Air Runs the Wind. I know that's what you've been doing the last couple streams. Yeah, I would love to see a new badge about a ferry pilot. That would be really cool. Ferrying people and cargo around different locations. Yes, I would like to do that too. Like I said, as one of the VA's most decorated pilots in admin, yes, I would like to do that. Very much so. Okay. First. Here it is. Saint Nevis. Here's Nevis. Here we go. And beautiful. Okay, good. No reverse needed. Beautiful landing. Woo! Nice. Nice landing. Woo! Wow, what a beautiful landing here in Nevis. Mm. Let's see. Falling up is down. Nicely done, falling up. And we see Tarnish here too. Awesome job, guys. Do you know why the RP engages don't work? That's a good question, Flint. Joel. I don't know. Like I said, this is my only second time ever flying this thing, so I don't really know. But thank you though. But guys, thank you so much for this flight. Tons and tons of fun today here. I had a fantastic time through the Caribbean today. It is so much fun. So thank you guys so much for the stream. So guys, the tough question is who am I going to pick for the raid today? There's Edson Sky Lounge, there's Conti, um, there's 757 Spy, OK Do, It's tough. There's quite a few people to raid. Or we could raid someone smaller if you guys are more interested with it. Like I said, I'm open to whoever you guys want me to take care of. But thank you guys so much. I'll take a quick look, and I'll just pick whoever I feel like wanting to raid today. Let's see who it's going to be today, guys. Oh yeah, and by the way, as I pick out someone streaming, let me go through for the next couple of days. Sunday, another leg of the Brilliant DC3 trip from Chiang Mai to Phuket. We'll be flying over Bangkok at night. And then on Wednesday, we'll be taking the 737-900ER. We're going to do one of the world's busiest routes, a round trip from Seoul to Jeju Island and back in the 737-900. And then if Friday works out, we will be going through and doing another airline, another GA stream, and we'll continue our island hopping trip through the Caribbean. So, oh my goodness, and Ian Fisher with a raid. Just as I ended, Ian Fisher, good to see you. I hope you had a great stream. I'm gonna say we raid. I'm gonna raid. I'm probably gonna. I'm gonna raid. That's tough. Maybe you guys can give me a better suggestion. I'm over your way with Jersey Friday next week, bud. If you need anything brought over. You know what? I'm actually gonna raid. I'm gonna raid Edson today. So let's go raid the Sky Lounge, guys. So let's go raid Edson. Let's go raid Edson's flight today. If you guys don't know, the Sky Lounge TV is Edson's official channel, and he is one of the people who worked on Parallel 42. Let's go raid his channel. Guys, thank you so much for coming today. Let's stick around for the raid. Take care, guys.